Hi, welcome to Salon Scheduler. I'm going to tell you everything there is to know about appointments right now, okay? So when on the scheduler, you make an appointment by tapping anywhere under an employee's name. And so that'll give you a widget where you provide the services that an appointment is going to provide. And then after you provide the services, you can choose to change the employees, okay? And you provide a customer. You can search for an existing customer or you can add a customer. If a customer is not found, it'll search for you. So you could use an existing customer or you can add a new customer, okay? And the other thing you're doing, so you're adding services, you're adding a customer, and then you're adding the date and time. You can choose the date and time from this widget right here. And you can even choose for a recurring appointment if you need to do that, okay? So that's the basics of how you would actually go about creating an appointment. Let me show you some other ways to create an appointment. You could tap on the employee's name and choose Checkout Walk-in. Okay, what that's going to do, it's going to ask you the services to provide, and it's going to ask you to provide a customer or to add a new customer. This is useful because that way you can continue keeping track of customer history. But what this is going to do, it's a walk-in. So you're just going to tap the checkout button. We're going to create a Clover order and put you directly on the Clover register to check out a walk-in. Okay, so that's useful for a walkout. You can also do a new appointment. You can, so another way to create appointments would be to tap the little plus right here. That would create a new appointment. And, or you could tap the plus up here in the corner. Okay, so that's all the different ways to create an appointment. Okay, once you create an appointment, or if you have an existing appointment, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about, how to use that particular appointment. Okay, first of all, you'll notice different icons and such on the appointment. If you see a little computer, that means that appointment was created online. If you see the words RR on the appointment right up here, that means that it was a return request. That means that customer has a preference for which employee they want to have for their appointment. You'll see different icons here. If you see an open envelope, that means that a reminder has been scheduled but has not been sent out yet. If it's a closed envelope, it means a reminder has been sent, but there's been no response. If you see a clipboard with an X, what that means is that the reminder was sent out and the customer responded with a directive that they'd like to request a cancel. Okay, that doesn't mean they've canceled. You get to decide what to do. Like you could call them or whatever. The X just means that they've requested to cancel the appointment. Okay, or you'll get a clipboard with a check mark, which means that they've confirmed that they're coming to the appointment. Or you'll get a clipboard with a magnifying glass, which means that they've either requested a reschedule or they've posted some comment like, hey, I'm running late, please hold on, I'll be right there, things like that, okay? So that's what these icons are referring to on the appointment. Now, if you tap on an appointment, you'll see that there's a bunch of different options of what you can do. The green buttons are related to the check-in process. The button check-in will just basically change the color of the appointment. So you can use it for whatever you want. We do have an option to print out the appointment when you tap the check-in, and that's under the 3-line menu on the display control settings. But basically, to check out an appointment, you would just tap the checkout button like this. Okay, and what we do is we create a Clover order and we put you on the Clover register so you can finish out your payments, or if you're offering discounts or you want to add products before you pay, you do whatever you want. When you're done with the payment, you tap the done button and you're back in the scheduler. Okay, so that's how the scheduler is designed to flow. Now, the other thing you can see here is if you go to the appointment, let's say you have 2 appointments that you want to check out at the same time. Okay, and that can be pretty common as far as just how to use the scheduler. Sometimes you need to check out more than one appointment. And what you would do in those scenarios is you would take the appointment and you can tap the Add to Basket button. See right there like that, okay? Then on the final appointment, so you can add as many appointments to the basket as you like, and then on the final appointment that you're trying to check out altogether, you would tap the appointment and you would tap checkout, okay? So that's how you would check out multiple appointments all at the same time, okay? Now, something else to know about an appointment is on an appointment, you can have as many services that you're providing that you want at the same time, okay? And each appointment, each service you can have scheduled with different employees, Okay. And not only that, you can say, like if you have a manicure and pedicure at the same time, you could take the appointment and say parallel with next service. Okay. See what that means is that these two appointments will occur in parallel. So they won't occur sequentially, they'll occur at the same time. Okay. So you've got a lot of features under this edit button. Now, the other thing you can do to an appointment, besides change employees, you can assign it. Okay. Change employee and assignment are very similar. The only difference is that with assign, the employee gets changed, but the original employee's slot remains unbookable online. Okay, that's useful because if you have an employee that's really like a room that you're booking, then you could have them book a room and then you could assign that booked appointment to some employee, and that bookable room would remain unavailable at that time. Okay, so that's what the assign to does. You could hide select services if there's too many and you can't see them all. You can change the order of services by using the make service first, or you can make custom durations for an appointment. Okay, so that's everything you need to know about the services that you're adding to an appointment. As far as for the customer you're adding to an appointment, you can search for a customer or you can tap to add a new customer, and you can also edit the details of this customer. If you need to change the actual customer that's coming in for an appointment, don't change the details. Then you just want to delete the appointment and create a new appointment. Okay, this is meant to actually edit the details of a customer if you need to. Okay, now the other thing is when you do add a customer to an appointment, it's at that time that we give you the history on that customer. You can choose which stylist that customer prefers, if they have a preference choice. And that's what works with the RR. Then from then on, you'll see a return request, which means that they have a stylist that they prefer. And if you schedule them with somebody else, you'll actually get a note telling you that, okay? You can choose the referral by, if there's a referral, or you can just change your color because you just want that appointment to stand out. That'd be like a VIP client that you want to mark as a VIP. So that they'll always show up with a different color when you book them, okay? Instead of booking an actual appointment, you can tap waitlist. And what that will do, if you provided the services and the customer and the services, if you waitlist them, we'll create a ghost appointment. It'll appear in the background, a different light color. And so that way, if somebody cancels, you can tap on the ghost appointment and it'll ask you, do you want to make this into a real appointment? And you can tap yes, and it'll turn it into a real appointment, okay? By the way, you can also see the waitlisted appointments by tapping right here on this little on this hourglass, and it'll show you your waitlisted appointments, and you can search them, and you can tap on them from there also, as well as print them out or add. You can also add waitlist appointments directly, okay? But back to the appointment, if you tap on an appointment that's existing, so I've shown you that you can use the checkout buttons. You can also print the details so that you can give it to a stylist. Again, we have a feature where you can print upon tapping check-in, so you don't have to do both separately. You can create a new appointment, which will save the services, but just let you change the date and time. You can lock it, which means that you can't edit it unless you unlock it. Now, there's actions you can take on that appointment. You can switch different custom colors. That's just for your own benefit. You can text a Google review request. That's only if you have the Platinum plan. And what happens if you set up your Google Place ID in there is we'll text a review request. That's really useful because, you know, if a customer, sometimes you only get reviews from negative customers, and this will help you push back and get reviews from positive customers at your choice. You can collect a cash deposit, and if you have, then when you check out, at the time of checkout, we'll apply a discount for the amount of the cash deposit. So it'll keep track of that cash deposit for you. If there's a card on file, you'll also see collect credit deposit, and it'll basically charge the card on file with a deposit, and it'll save that information on the appointment. So when you check out, it'll apply a discount for the deposit that was already paid. Okay, and that the card on file information, you have to turn that on from the 3-line menu, from the merchant settings, from the online scheduling settings. The last option there will be to allow card on file in the salon, and so you want to turn that on. Okay, so we also have the ability for you to delete in 2 different ways. If you delete using the delete function, it'll delete it from your system and you'll never see it again. If you annul it, it'll keep the appointment in your history so you can search for it, but it won't show up and it'll clear the slot for booking. Annulled appointments you can find using this right here. This is the appointment search button, and you can search for appointments by, you can type a customer name, or you can type a employee name, or you can type a date, for example, 10/27. It'll show you all the appointments on that date, if there's any appointments. Okay. You can also change the window that see, it tells you the window with which it's searching, and you can change that window to make it bigger. Okay. So that's a way you can search for your different appointments. You can also search for customers if you need to and find their appointments. Okay. But so basically, the other thing I want to show you here is that you have two different kinds of notes. You have a note that's specific and sticky to only the appointment. It's useful for like a tattoo shop. Or you can keep customer notes, okay? You can access those customer notes by tapping that right there on an existing appointment, or you can access those notes by tapping on the customer's name, and you'll see all their notes just appear down here. See, there's no notes found. You can add a new note, and it can be a customer note or an appointment note, and let's say you do a customer note. Then once you add the note, then you can set it a priority note if you like, which means that you'll get a box popping up. The note will always appear at the top, and you'll get a box popping up that lets you know the contents of a priority note. Okay, so now whenever that customer is scheduled, you'll see the priority note come up. Okay, you can add a card on file if you've turned on that feature under the 3-line menu, the merchant settings, online scheduler, and add card on file in Salon. That's the feature right there. This tells you the status of the text message. If they'd responded with confirmed, it'd show up there along with the date and time of the confirmation. Okay. You can edit the customer information. You can also view the information on this customer. You'll see their order history. If you're on a Clover device, you can tap on the actual order, and like I just did right here, you can see all the details of the actual order and what happened, what date, customer, everything about it. When you're done, just tap the back arrow, and you'll be back in the scheduler. Okay, and in this case, there we go. Okay, so you can see the order history. There's also an appointment history that'll show you all the previous appointments for that particular customer, which you can tap on also. And if there's any no-shows, you'd see a no-show history showing up here also. Okay, so that's the info, that's the history that's available for each customer. So I've shown you how to use the services, and I've shown you how to change the customer information and the date and time that you can use for an existing appointment. So that's pretty much all you want to do with an appointment. You can do things like ask for confirmations on an appointment before you book it, as well as tracking an appointment. If you need to know like who's making changes to an appointment, that's going to appear under this details button right here. And see, it tells you to turn on the track appointment option. And if you turn that on, just a warning there, it's going to always ask you for an employee PIN code with every change you make. That can be a little bit annoying for your employees, but that's the only way we can really securely track who's making the changes to an appointment. And that'll appear under the details, okay? If you're doing a no-show and they had a card on file, when you tap no-show, we'll ask you if you want to charge them, and we'll ask you the amount that you want to charge them. If they scheduled online and they were a no-show, then we'll just ask you if you want to charge them the amount they already agreed to. Okay. If there's already you can collect a deposit. I showed you how to do that. If they have a card on file, I think I mentioned this, but if you have a card on file but they scheduled in the salon, then we'll ask you the amount you want to charge them. Okay. So that's everything that you want to know about working with appointments.